Hello, welcome back. So now we are moving towards the Python indentation thing. What Python indentation used to tell to the user. So indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of a code line, okay? And where in the other programming languages, we normally, in terms of this indentation in the code, it's somehow super important in Python, okay? So Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. Let's, for example, if this is a line of a code, okay, and if 5 is greater than 2, then I just want to show to the user that this thing, print 5 is greater than 2, okay, easy peasy. But I have to make sure that this statement should be true in order to get this result shown to the user. Okay, so for that reason I really have to be aware of this indentation thing. Okay, so if you skip to give indentation to this part, as this part is having an indentation, if you forget to give indentation to this part, they both have the same start line. Okay, so for that reason this is somehow not accurate in Python because of this indentation thing. Okay, so let's just type this thing in our Google Colab. Okay, I'm assuming you have done this file, new notebook, and then you have created a new notebook. Let's just call this as class 1. So that screen was showing like 5 is greater than 2, and I want a result to be shown to the user. So 5 is greater than 2. Okay, so this is a part where we used to write a code, and in order to run this thing we just simply have to click on this option. Okay, at the beginning when you start to run this code, it would take a little bit of time because this part is connecting. Okay, so we have our result printed here. Okay, okay, we got it. But let's just say, for the new line of the code you have to type this button, and for the text part you have to write this. If 5 is greater than 2, and then I'm just printing that 5 is greater than 2, we have a message here. So it's saying indentation error because we are expecting an indent to run this thing. We are expecting an indent because at the beginning of it we have a if statement here. Okay, this is an if statement. The system was expecting that there would be something that would be a part of this if statement. In order to get the statement right or wrong, you have to make something to be a part of a statement. Okay, so when you forget to write indentation, the system won't work. Okay, one indentation is depending upon if you're writing any condition or if you're writing any program that you are providing a context to write to run that by the system. One indentation is of that type, and the other one is like if you are giving an indent in between these numbers. Okay, this is different and the other is different. So what I'm trying to tell you, if you are giving a space in between these numbers, then it's for your own good and it's for your reading flexibility or reading comfort. Okay, but for that context Python is asking you to write an indentation. Okay, let's just say if I'm writing some multiple conditions, but how much space or how much indentation do I need to give? So you can give one indentation. Okay, so one word indentation. You can give like 4 indentation, but you have to be make sure of one thing. And what is that? the indentation that you are giving to a system, or let's just say if this is the condition that should be true in order to get this message print, then for that reason I have just given a one line, a one character indentation, and for the other function I have given a four character indentation. Okay, both of them are like fine, whatever you are comfortable with, but mainly we use four character space or indentation. Okay, but but it has to be at least one if you want, uh, based on your comfort. If I want a computer to show me two messages, when this condition is true, then I have given one character indentation, and then right here I'm just giving like five character indentation. Then this program won't be working because both of the indentation are not unique, because the condition here I'm giving is only one. The messages that I want from the user, though that I want from the computer are two, but I'm just somehow making this program wrong, because if you are using something then it has to be same number of spaces. Okay, same block of code, same condition would be needing same number of spaces in order to run that. Let's just start to write this same thing into this program. So if 5 is greater than 2, I want the user to print 5 is greater than 2. Okay, and in the other line I'm just adding some extra spaces, 1 2 3 4, print 2 is smaller than 5. Okay, so I'm just running this piece of code. For that I have to just click on this option and then see. So the first line is okay, the system is saying like first line is completely okay, no problem with that, but the second line of this condition is false because we are not using the same number of indentation. Okay, now let's just move towards how we would be having our Python learning journey. Okay, so we would be learning about some variables. So a variable is created when you want to assign a value. I'm assigning 5 to the x. I'm assigning this complete message to a variable y. Okay, so these are the variables we'll be learning in detail. And Python has no commands for declaring a variable. Okay, so in C++, what we normally used to do is when we are declaring a variable, it's just that we have to define the type of it. What type do you really want? Okay, but Python is like super flexible. You just simply have to assign a number or assign a character or assign a sentence, and that would be automatically adjust auto. The other thing that I want to tell you for now is what are the comments. Okay, so let's just say I'm writing a big piece of code and I want to give that code to other person. Okay, but one thing is the other person don't really know what that program was about. Okay, so that person have to go over every single line of code and would be looking for what is actually been going on in this program. Okay, so in order to help that person, or let's just say if I want, if I just wrote a program a year back and I'm just looking at that program right now, so for my own comfort that what actually was done in that program or the little part of that program, I just, let's just say that code was like split into three parts. So what this part is doing, what this part is doing, what this part is doing, the computer is getting everything, but in order for my own comfort, I have to I have to get some notes. Okay, so whenever I'm back with that program, so I have to be reading those notes and I would be getting everything out of that program. Okay, so those things in programming languages are called comments. So in order to write a comment in Python, you need to write a line. Okay, if that comment is in a single line, then you need to write this character before that thing. Okay, and if that comment is in multiple lines, you have to write that command in this way, okay, this way. So in order to get a new line, I have to create a new block of code. Okay, so let's just say I'm writing print. Okay, so print is basically a, yeah, we haven't talked about the print. So print is basically a function in Python, and the functionality that this print has is, you can even see that pop-up message by this Google Colab, that what print actually do. So whatever you put inside that print statement, it just would be giving that whole thing to the output window. Okay, so let's just say if I'm writing like uh, the coding is really boring. Okay, now let's just say I write this line of code and I don't know at what situation I was writing this code. Okay, so this is a single line of code, but let's just say somehow we end up uh, let me just run this thing. Okay, so in order for our system, okay, so I've written a complete command that is completely ignored by the computer. Okay, and I'm just getting what I have written inside the print statement. Okay, so for now good to go. But let's just say if I need to write a note that is like in like multiple lines. Okay, so for that purpose, I mean, like, if I've written a message, great, I love to code. Okay, there are two ways to do that thing. Okay, I can use double quotation. Okay, and double quotation. Okay, and inside this double quotation I'm just writing this. So it's a super random message for now. Okay, so I'm just running this line of code and see what we get from this. Okay, so whatever was inside this triple quotation signs completely ignored by the system, and I get what I have written inside the print statement. Okay, at the last, these are the tasks. Okay, this is the exercise that you guys would be doing, and let me just give you an overview about it. So insert the missing part of the code below to output hello world. Okay, what should be written here, okay, to get this thing as an output to the screen. Okay, let me just change the color of the pen for now. Okay, so second question is, this example misses indentation to be correct. Okay, we have learned about the indentation first. Okay, so insert the missing indentation to make the code correct. Okay, so as we can see, both of these things are like in same indentation right now. So in order to make this thing run correctly, what should be added here? Okay, the question 3 is, commands in Python are written with a special character. Okay, we have learned about it. Okay, so what should be written before in order to make this thing as a comment? Okay, so now moving towards some multi-line string to make it a multi-line comment. Okay, so this is a whole string, and what should be written around it or before it or whatever to make this a multi-line comment. Okay, so I guess we are good to go for now, and let's meet in the other video. Bye.